Hi everyone, I'm Veronica and welcome to my YouTube channel. With this video, I'm starting a How to Negotiate Anything video series. So if you want to learn to negotiate to get anything you want, stay with me and subscribe to this channel to not miss the new videos. Today I'm going to share with you a technique I learned from a book, Never Split the Difference, Negotiating as if your life depended on it, by Criss Voss. It's called Calibrate Your Questions. Its goal is to engage your counterpart in a conversation where you summarize the situation and ask, how am I supposed to do that? I know, the idea of having to ask this question might terrify you first. If you hear the question as something very harsh, good. But the good news is that this implication is only in your mind. Your counterpart would hear the words and not the implication, as long as you keep calm and avoid making it sound like an accusation or threat. As long as you stay cool, they would hear it as a problem to be solved. Write a script and go through it several times to make yourself more comfortable saying that. And if you don't quite believe it will work, fine, still do it. This question works in the following way. Without accusing your counterpart of anything, it pushed them to understand your problem and offer a solution. That, in a nutshell, is the whole point of open-ended questions that are calibrated for a specific affect. Like the softening words and phrases, perhaps, maybe, I think, and it seems, the calibrated open-ended questions takes the aggression out of a confrontational statement or close-ended request that might otherwise anger your counterpart. What makes them work is that they are subject to interpretation by your counterpart instead of being rigidly defined. They allow you to introduce ideas and requests without sounding overbearing or pushy. And that's the difference between "you are screwing me out of money and it has to stop" and "how am I supposed to do that?" The real beauty of calibrated questions is that they offer no target for attack like statements do. Calibrated questions have the power to educate your counterpart on what the problem is, rather than causing conflict by telling them what the problem is. But calibrated questions are not just random requests for comment. They have a direction. Once you figure out where you want the conversation to go, you have to design the questions that will ease the conversation in that direction while letting your counterpart think it's his or her choice to take you there. That's why these questions are called calibrated. You have to calibrate them carefully to target a specific problem. The good news is that there are rules for that. First off, calibrated questions avoid verbs or words like can, is, are, do, or does. These are closed-ended questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no. Instead, they start with a list of words people know as reporter's questions: who, what, when, where, why, and how. Those words inspire your counterpart to think and then speak expansively. But let me cut the list even further. It's best to start with what, how, and sometimes why, nothing else. Who, when, and where will often just get your counterpart to share a fact without thinking much. And why can backfire. Regardless of what language the word why is translated to, it comes across accusatory. There are very rare moments when this is to your advantage. The only time you can use why successfully is when the defensiveness that is created supports the change you're trying to get them to see. For example, why would you ever change from the way you've always done things and try my approach? Or another example, why would your company ever change from your long-standing vendor and choose our company? As always, tone of voice, respectful and differential, is critical. Otherwise, don't use why. Having just 2 words to start with might not seem like a lot of instruments, but trust me, you can use what and how to calibrate nearly any question. Does this look like something you would like? Can become, how does this look to you? Or what about this works for you? You can even ask, what about this doesn't work for you? And you'll probably trigger quite a bit of useful information from your counterpart. Even something as harsh as, why did you do it? Can be calibrated to, what caused you to do it? Which takes away the emotion and makes the question less accusatory. You should use calibrated questions early and often, and you can use them in every negotiation. What is the biggest challenge you face? Is one of those questions. It just gets the other side to teach you something about themselves, which is critical to any negotiation, because all negotiation is an information gathering process. Here are some other great standbys that you can use in every negotiation, depending on the situation. What about this is important to you? How can I help to make this better for us? How would you like me to proceed? What is it that brought us into this situation? How can we solve this problem? What's the objective? What are we trying to accomplish here? And how am I supposed to do that? The implication of any well-designed calibrated question is that you want what your counterpart wants, but you need his or her intelligence to overcome the problem. This appeals to even very aggressive and egoistical counterparts. You've not only implicitly asked for help, triggering goodwill and less defensiveness, but you've engineered a situation in which your formerly hesitant counterpart is now using his or her mental and emotional resources to overcome your challenges. It is the first step in your counterpart internalizing your way and the obstacles in it as his or her own. And that guides the other party toward designing a solution, your solution. The key to getting people to see things your way is not to confront them on their ideas, like, you can't do that, but to acknowledge their ideas openly and then guide them towards solving the problem. Something like, I understand why you're pissed off, but what do you hope to accomplish by doing that? Like I said before, the secret to gaining the upper hand in a negotiation is giving the other side the illusion of control. That's why calibrated questions are ingenious. Calibrated questions make your counterpart feel like they're in charge, but it's really you who are framing the conversation. Your counterpart will have no idea how constrained they are by your questions. Thanks for watching this video. If it was useful, please like it, subscribe to this channel, and please leave a comment about what kind of negotiations are the hardest for you or you're frequently dealing with. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Bye.